Gerald, first of all, at times I struggle to understand the leadership philosophy in this country. Because it is absurd, it is just not clean. Because the president and the deputy president, in a normal day, when everybody is speaking their language, they ought to speak from the same book. But when it gets to a point where the two cannot speak to each other, I think I am left with no other recourse than to follow what Lucy has talked about, the two of them hitting the road and resigning. Because if the president can say so, I do understand the Kikuyu language, but I am not good at it. Uhuru Kenyatta's Kikuyu diction is a bit heavy, so I couldn't tell what he was saying, but I could hear what he was saying. But it means that the country's political health is not in a good position. That is what we must pick from it. Secondly, it means that this government is disjointed, and a disjointed government does not harm the two. It harms us as a people. It affects service delivery. It affects other things. It even affects the harming together of a nation. So we really need to ask ourselves at this juncture, do we need some of these things? The other thing is this. At times I get a bit jittery when I see Uhuru Kenyatta acting like a candidate for another election. When he comes out and wants to still bring back his political mojo, he is a politician who I can say is staring at his expiry date. The rest do not know when they will expire. They still have a go at it. But when he comes up, want to launch projects, want to be seen here, to be seen there, it is not a bad thing. But there is a communication that is not communicating. If you have studied political science, you will know that there is something that is not adding up. And I think the two, as the late Otieno Kajwang said, you can easily divorce your wife, but divorcing your deputy needs some extra energy. So the two have two options. One, if they can't live together harmoniously, they must bear each other for the country to move forward. Two, which is the easiest option, and they can pass here, our good lady will direct them where to go, is to resign if they can't. Because we cannot have a country where the president is lamenting against the deputy is lamenting against the president. We are not making progress. And why so? We don't know where it is between the two to tell us what happened to their romance. So let us not inconvenience Kenyans because of their own political disagreements.
All right. Do you think he's right by his claims or his comment?
Which claims?
That the deputy president is making promises that he cannot fulfill while he's in government.
I think the government belongs to Uhuru Kenyatta. He is the head of state.
My question at this point will be, what is government's agenda? In him saying that the deputy president has neglected his drive for the government's agenda, at this point, what is government's agenda? Because the Big Four agenda is no longer government's agenda. So the president first needs to tell us what government agenda is before he can start complaining against his deputy.
So he should define the government agenda first.
Yes, because we don't know. Who knows?
You can't seem to see the government agenda.
Who knows what the government agenda is?
Gerald, daily. Tomorrow you wake up, the government agenda is Huduma number. The next day it is Big Four. The other day it is BBI.
Express highway.
Yeah, it is express highway. Tomorrow we are talking about something in Manyani. So at times we get lost in all these shenanigans. So we really need to be told what is the agenda. You know the danger is this, Gerald. With President Kibaki, all of us knew that our agenda was Vision 2030. And everything was done geared towards Vision 2030. But currently, you are never sure where we are. Everything is done towards everything. And actually everything is done towards anything. We don't know surely what will be the government priority in the next year. You might wake up one day and you are told this government has a priority in feeding pigs. What will you do? That is the danger.
So you feel that the president has been put out of touch with the government? All right. Odede muti ya baba.
Yes.
Unaona je, mbona kwanza baba amesema anarudi hapa anachoka, yeye si mzee bado. Can you comment on the president's issues against this deputy in Nyeri?
I think there is one thing we are forgetting here. There must be something that happened it is not like Uhuru woke up one morning itching to fight with his deputy. Something was happening. At the time we were seeing the bromance, there was some lie somewhere. So that lie has finally come out. There was no unity, there was no purpose. There was a lot of lie for Kenyans to see that, oh, these guys are really united, working together, they are buddies. So the time has come for that lie to come out. I don't think the president would just wake up and feeling like, today I'm feeling like I'm itchy, I must betray my deputy. No, something was happening for a long time, and Kenyans were being fooled for a long time. And now time has caught up with everyone. So the truth has to come out. You know, it's like pregnancy. You can't be a half pregnant. It's either you are pregnant or you are not. You can't say like, it's either maybe I am or not. It's either you are or not. So it is also obvious that in the first term, President wanting so much to have the second term, which is something usual in Africa. President would do anything and would sacrifice anything to get a second term, because you don't want to be the only president who did one term and then was thrown out. So because of that, they take anything, including the things they don't like. So I'm sure first time Uhuru was just taking some things, and there could also be a lot of manipulations and even blackmails, because in Kenya the politics is on personalities. So today I'm with Bitok, tomorrow I can be with Lucia. So there is nothing that stops me from leaving Lucia again going to Bitok. So for me to, for Lucia to maintain me, I have to get everything I want from her. Otherwise, I can go back to Bitok, who was my buddy before. So that kind of blackmail, I think President had put up with a lot, and he stepped back. So the first term, to me, in my own analysis, Uhuru went missing. Ruto worked, and then Uhuru decided to come during the second term to make Ruto his deputy. But Ruto had already been president. So nobody moves from Cinderella back to, from princess back to Cinderella. People move from Cinderella to princess.
So that note, what makes you think now Uhuru is genuine with this brother Raila Odinga?
He might not be genuine. The only genuine thing I know he has, he decided to be president now. And he wants to make Ruto his deputy.
So you can say on the same thing now. Let's reflect on what happened last week. Former IBC Commissioner Roslyn Akombe alisema ya kwamba the president and his deputy are working, and they are saying that they're actually playing mind games on Uhuru Kenyatta and every other person around him. What do you make of that, Karori? I switch it back to tell us and Lucy as well. What are your thoughts on that?
I think what people must understand, Gerald, about the Kenyan politics, and assuming all of us who are in this room and the viewers of the show have been around since 2002, will realize that the only currency in politics is betrayal. And the only currency in politics is loyalty. That is why somebody could say that we are cows to Baba. That is the epitome of demonstrating loyalty. Whether it is absurd or not, it is part of throwing yourself under the cliff. But as to the issue of the deputy president and the president and working together, politics has to be understood as every time politicians meet, don't cheat yourself that your interests are there as Kenyans. Know that that is the convergence of their interests. So anytime we sit as Kenyans and say, Gerald Bitok, the politician, and Lucia are meeting, we are happy people, maybe the Luo and the Kalenjin communities together, far from it. Politicians meet for interest. It was in the interest of Uhuru Kenyatta to keep William Ruto to win the election in 2017. But now maybe he has realized that his interest is in other things, which which he can only get elsewhere. And I don't know if he's succeeding or not in that journey. It is an issue that we will judge him in the next 18 months as he will be bidding us farewell. So even this BBI, as we discuss it, don't sit back and think that there is anything for the normal mwananchi in the villages in the BBI. This is a political document, and it's more 80% of it deals with politics. We go back to the adage of Kwame Nkrumah. He said, "Seek ye the political kingdom
Fast.
and then other things will follow." So Kenyan politicians are taking from Kwame Nkrumah, whether it inconveniences Kenyans, whether it inconveniences Kenyans or not, they are there for their first. They want to get the political kingdom. Whether you will die with COVID in between, when you watabaki wataingia kwa kingdom.
Wataendelea na siasa.
That is the danger.
Actually, quoting as I told to you, Lucia, quoting your friend. Nakombe amesema MILDEC, that is military deception, is what the Ruto duo adopted to deflect public rage away from their failed presidency. They knew you were about to revolt, so they created a fog of war, BBI and Tangatanga, to disorient you as they consolidate their advantage. It's psychological operations at work, that is Nduko. And that is, Roslyn Kombe said, on point, they are banking on Vita via Pansi, Fraya, Kunguru. A fight among locusts is a feast for the crow. BBI report and Asla Nation are narratives created from the same deep state factory, all to maintain the core economic interest of the billionaires and securocrats who run the country. Plutocracy. Wako pamoja, they are together. She said, what are your thoughts on this?
I actually agree with her. I've always said, I don't think kuna shida between Uhuru na the deputy president. Jubilee government is a failed government. He promised that Ruto will take over after him. But then no one has faith in the Jubilee government. So what do? Let's pretend tumekosana so that you can distance yourself from this failure and get the sympathy vote from the people and then get the presidency maybe. You know, it's all mind games, Bana. They're all products of the same system. They're all beneficiaries of the same system. There is no way one will want to fight a system that he has benefited from. It's a lie. Water ni apples in one basket, and it's not one apple in that basket that is rotten. It's the entire basket that is rotten. The political elite in this country, water wanna belong somewhere similar. Hakuna dynasty, hakuna hustler. They are all politicians. They lie the same. They walk the same. They sleep the same. They talk the same. They are all the same. Hata kwa alizaliwa na kobla na mwingine alizaliwa na mtu alikuwa anauza diamonds. They are all the same. So wanaitwa wanasiasa.
So who is being fooled in the whole scheme? Who is the fool in the scheme?
We are being fooled.
Or it's a political class?
It is us being fooled, Gerald, because politicians never want a populace that is woke. Because once we are woke and organized, they can no longer lie to us as they steal their money. Hawatakuja kutudanganya na fake promises kwa campaigns. So they want to confuse us so that they can continue keeping us in a subdued place where then they can continue oppressing us.